Welcome everybody! Set 2, or Omens of the Past, has come to Eternal, and I wanted to do a draft. I've done 2 so far, I believe. I did a couple on stream, I tested it out a little bit, but I haven't done a lot, and I want to go deeper into this. I used to play Eternal a lot on stream, and I used to do a lot of content for it, and now with Omens of the Past, I'm hoping to go back into that, so check around for the channel to see more of this kind of stuff. I want to get back to Masters and drafting. We used to have Masters in both every single season, but it got a little bit tiring with the last set, and I'm so happy that there's new stuff, so I'm excited to grind it back out again. And here, I want to try this Champion of Mystery. This card is expensive, but its abilities are very powerful. I mean, it is a 7/7 for 6, and unblockability plus drawing cards is good. Mostly the unblockability, I think, because once it's a 7/7, you really don't care about the cards, you just kind of want to hit them. Especially, I mean, gotta think that you're getting this down if either of the abilities are on, because you've got to have like 6 or 7, 6 Shadow or 6 Time, then you probably are close to the end of the game. And now we have a Blister Sting Wasp, sorry. Cabal Rogue. This thing just seems too expensive. I mean, yeah, it can deal a lot of damage. It also dies to like a, Varia's favor. There's a lot of things that kill it. Master's Lesson, meant to draw a card for each of the student's battle skills. Oh, that's definitely not happening. We'll take the Blistering Wasp. I like the Blister Sting Wasp here. It's possible to take something like an Argenport Stranger just to add a little bit of shadow, or the Praxis Stranger just to give extra influence for the champion, but Blister Sting seems real nice. I mean, annoying to attack through, really annoying. Oh, and I like Vara's Choice. So this is something that I did know, and this is a sweet card. Getting the flexibility of either silencing a unit in their hand and discarding it, or silencing units on the battlefield is really nice, so I'm gonna just slam that here. I'd say that like probably 80 to 90% of the time you're going to return a card in play to their hand, but silence is already pretty solid in limited, and then you also have the fact that you're returning it to their hand. Like, that's actually really solid. Scepter Nobility is a thing. I mean, it's okay, I guess. Roosting Owl is nice. I think that Roosting Owl is pretty decent. And I've had a lot of luck with Auric Bully. Auric Bully was really good. I've managed to go super aggressive with Auric Bully. If you can get Auric Bully into Jack's Knife specifically, which is the 1 mana +2/+2, I mean, you get a 6/5 swinging on turn 3. It is gross. And you haven't even played everything. You can easily do more. It looks like our Xenon deck is not super open here. I'm seeing a lot of Hru and a lot of Argenport cards rather than Time and Shadow. So we might be switching it up a little bit here. We've got Aerialist's Kopesh, just fine. Not great at all. Bring Down is quite good. I actually really like Bring Down. Highwind Glider is really fun. It's slow, very slow. But if you can keep it in play for a few turns, you're probably going to win, because you can draw whatever you need. I think Sandglass Sentinel, maybe? There's just no good cards here. I don't really like any of these. Maybe Threaten, but Threaten just... The problem that I have with Threaten is that you're not giving it Quick Strike, you're not giving it extra health, you're not doing anything like that, so you might be able to trade a small creature up for a larger creature using Threaten, but you're still 2 for 1 in yourself. You're spending 2 cards to get 1, and it's not worth the rate. And that's if it works out, because there's certainly times when your opponent can have things in response to that too. I might just take this Viper's Bite. It's very similar to Threaten. The one difference is that it does last forever, and sometimes you can end up with, like, say, a 1/5 on your team that's blocking, and then you can just give it Deadly and kill their creature, still have a 1/5 deadly creature. And I think that's okay. Cabal Slasher. This card is... It seems like a cool build around, but I think it's way too hard to gain enough life to actually make it worthwhile. And 3 toughness is not enough to really... It's not enough to keep it alive against anything that it's going to be fighting, so it's not really worth it. I'm really tempted to just take Argenport banners so that we can start taking some more Justice cards here, because Justice does seem quite open. Like, there's Rabble Rouser and Copper Hall Herald, which are both pretty decent. We've seen so many Huru cards. I'm going to take this Argenport, and I know that seems weird, like, why am I not just taking these cards then? But I'd rather have the fixing first and end up splashing it a little bit, I think. And I'm going to take the other Argenport now. It's going to be tough for us to be this many colors with the champion. It's unfortunate we didn't see any Xenon really afterwards, because it's really awkward to try and run a champion and not actually be those colors mainly. Take another Argenport banner, another Huru Stranger. I think I'll take the banner. Ooh, and an Argenport Stranger. Nice. Valkyrie Militant, not particularly great. Basically just gives you health when you get weapons. It is armor, not health, but in limited it probably doesn't matter. You probably don't have enough actual, like, relic weapons to matter. Take a Toctic. Not excited about it, but it is a card that we could possibly use. And Skycrag Stranger. Cool. Oh wow, Harsh Rule is awesome. Pillar of Amar is a really good late game card, but we already have one in Champion of Mystery for our time, so I think that I'm just going to grab the Harsh Rule. And we're going to be a very influence-intensive deck here. We're going to need a lot of time and, like, Shadow and Justice fixers, because right now this is a little bit awkward. We'll grab the Harsh Rule. A Desperado. Sapphire Dragon is awesome. Not impressed with Desperado, honestly. That being said, I don't know how much else I can take here. Dispel is okay, but we do have the Vara's Choice already. And I don't like having too many silence effects. They're good in constructed. They're not as good in limited in these drafts. I think it's Desperado. Desperado's not amazing by any means, but it's okay. Recano Stranger, Spirit Drain, Teleport, Excavate. Again, not a whole lot that's super useful. Static Bolt is good. Probably the better card in this pack. That or Ornate Katana. And I'm going to take the Recano Stranger. Just get that fixing. Ooh, Ageless Mentor is a cool card. I only have the Champion of Mystery right now, but I'm sure that we can find more stuff with power 4, like, that costs 4 or more power. Back Alley Bouncer and Towering Terrazon are both Towering. I mean, this would be good once we have the Mentor, is what I'm saying. This is just good. Towering Terrazon's awesome. It's between the Ageless and the Towering. In all honesty, it probably is just the Towering, just because the card is fantastic whenever you have it. This one's only good when you have a lot of creatures that are 4 or more. So maybe I should just have the Towering. I've kind of convinced myself. I'm going to take the Towering Terrazon. And Bold Adventurer, Back Alley Bouncer. Both of them are very medium cards. They're fine. Like, I definitely will play them almost every time I have them, but they're not amazing. I'll take the Back Alley because we've got so many Strangers clogging up our early game that we probably don't need anymore. Ornamental Daggers. Stalwart Shield, Friendly Wisp. Scavenging Vulture. Friendly Wisp is cool. Works well with the Champion Terrazon. We don't really have anything else though, right? 5 or more power. Yeah, so that's it so far. It's a very powerful card if you can get it going off. I'm going to try. I'm not a huge Stalwart Shield fan. It's good, but I don't know. I'm always a little bit wary about having too many weapons. Rebuke, Silence and Stun. Sure. I'm unlikely to run that, but it's more likely than anything else. Sauropod Wrangler is pretty solid. And we'll just pick up these last few cards that don't really matter. And now what do we have? Ooh, we've got a Towering Stranger. We have a lot of Strangers, so they are a bit better than normal. I like Purify here. Silence deal 3 damage is pretty sweet. Valkyrie Linebreaker I didn't like when I first saw it, but I played it in another draft, and it was awesome every time I got it. It's not... It's just that it's so big. It's just a big, dumb flyer, and like its mentor ability doesn't really matter. It's the fact that it's a 5/6 flyer. If you can land it, it is so big that it'll often end the game. We have the Stone Powder Alchemist here, too. I'm going to go with this Purify, though. I am liking the way this Purify looks. Oh, wait, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking that I have Fire? For some reason, I'm getting things mixed up. I am, right now, Argenport and Xenon. I don't want to go into a fourth color. I mean, I do have Recano Stranger. Yeah, like, that's not nearly enough. What am I thinking? Can't believe it. I think the Valkyrie Denouncer is probably where I want to go, though. It's not a crazy powerful card, but everything with Revenge is a lot better than it looks on the surface. It's so, it's so dependent on luck as to whether or not you get it again, but at the same time, when you do, it's really awesome. So it's either the Linebreaker or the Denouncer, I think. Linebreaker is interesting because of the Friendly Wisp. I don't think I need to go too crazy just because I have that, though. I'm thinking Denouncer. I like the flyer. I like the fact that it has Revenge. It lets me even just Harsh Rule over it, which is kind of fun. You've got Shield Bash, Excavation, Trigger Happy. Trigger Happy is a card. I don't know that it's actually that useful. Because you have to specifically be trading creatures. Like, your creatures all have to be the same size as your opponents for the quick draw to matter. Which sometimes will happen, but I think that it happens a lot less than you'd realize. I'm going to grab this Rabble Rouser instead. I do kind of like the Rabble Rouser. Anything, like I said, anything with Revenge is a little bit better than I've thought it should be. Whenever you play a unit, its power and toughness become the higher of the two. We don't have a lot of, like, massively different power toughnesses on our creatures. I don't think that it's worth a Shard of the Spire by any means. Voyaging Lumen is really strong if you can gain the life. Savage Stranger is also very awesome. I think that I just take the Savage Stranger, actually, because I have a lot of the little strangers so far. I might be able to pick up some more strangers, too. And we have, there's the Auric Bully. There's also a Praxis Stranger. And the strangers are becoming more powerful because of taking the Savage. I think just Auric Bully, though. Our mana is going to be very interesting to work out. Another Auric Bully. I should just be Argent. I feel like I should just be Argenport, but I don't want to give up on this Champion of Mystery. I really wanted to try that out. I guess that I can splash it for the time and not care about the draw card and just have a 7/7 unblockable, because that's pretty strong. But I'm going to slam this Auric Bully. And now we have Time Weaver. Doubling a card in their hand isn't particularly useful, in my opinion. I think I'd rather just have the Copper Hall Herald. You have to be ahead already for this to matter. And it's still only a 3/4 for 5. It's not great. We got a Jacksknife. I do like Jacksknife, especially with the Auric Bully. We've got a Sorrow Shroud. And there's a Sparring Partner, which is okay, too. I think I take the Jacksknife, though. Towering Stranger came back. Blood Call Invocation, another Rabble Rouser. I'll take the Rabble Rouser. And Xenon Stranger, Valkyrie Denouncer, Sparring Partner. Some decent cards. I'm going to take the Denouncer. Maybe the Stranger is a good idea. It's a tough choice. I really like Denouncer. I think Denouncer is pretty solid. There's a non-zero percentage of the time that I would play the 3/3/4 flying for 5 anyways. And just adding Revenge is huge. Yeah, I get the feeling I'm going to play the Blister Sting, get rid of Viper's Bite, maybe get rid of the Towering Terrazon, and have something a little more like this. Oh boy. So Stranger versus Denouncer. I'm going to take the Stranger again. High Branch Sentry. When it's a student, she gets +1/+1. It's already a 3-mana 3/3 though, which is pretty solid. Yeah, we're going to avoid the Clockroach, but Death Strike is awesome for us. Just going to slam that. There was an Inspire for green, but that's not anywhere close to the level of a Death Strike. Death Strike is great. We've got Stalwart Shield, Finest Hour, and a Blackguard Sidearm, which might be good because we have the double Auric Bully. Also have things like Copper Hall Herald. Anything with endurance really likes weapons. Also Desperado. I might be on board with this Blackguard. Finest Hour is certainly not bad by any means, though. They're really close. And, well, normally I would say I would easily take the Finest Hour, because I have some things that care about the weapons. I might want the Blackguard. It's a close one. I'm going to take the Finest Hour, though. It's so cheap and easy to get people with. Let's get a Stone Scar. Not super excited about it, but nothing else there was calling out to me. That was a really unexciting pack. Seek Power seems like something that we're going to want. I like the idea of the Seek Power, because I would still like to play a little bit of this time, or at least have the option to. Lethrai Ranger, I'm sure, is still very solid. It was a great card in the last set drafting, and I mean, it hasn't changed that much. Half the packs are still original set. We've got Life Drinker and Knife Jack. Knife Jack is okay. We can be pretty aggressive. I don't love the Life Drinker. I haven't been impressed with it. I'm just going to take Knife Jack. And we have Alchemical Blast. I don't mind an Alchemical Blast. People will look down on this card, but dealing 2 damage when you need it is pretty important. I'm not above playing an Alchemical Blast by any means. I think the card's really playable. And we get a Felon Stranger. Steadfast Deputy, sure. Alright. Now we have to figure out a deck. This is a little bit of a mess. Cut the Rally. Let's cut the... actually, do I want the Felon Stranger? Maybe. Let me just go back to that. So, Felon Stranger. I'm going to put it back in just for a minute. Because it does give us Shadow. Orc Bully, Blister Sting. I like the Desperado. High Branch Sentry I'm not super excited about, but I mean, it is 3 for a 3/3. It's okay. Loyal Watchwing, I probably like a lot more than I should. I think I'm going to keep it in. I like the Vara's Choice. We have very little removal. We have Deathstrike, Vara's Choice, and, like, that's it. Harsh Rule, I suppose. Harsh Rule is pretty awesome. Denouncer, we've got the Argenport Banners. Okay, so 33. We've got 3, so we really just need to cut 2 cards. Feel like they should be some number of strangers. We don't have enough abilities. Definitely Steadfast Deputy. I forgot to cut that one. That card's awful. And then we just probably need to cut the least important stranger. I'm going to give this deck like a 4 out of 10. Having to switch really gave us some problems. I should have switched earlier is what is the problem here. Because yeah, I think that I should have just definitely gone into the green, the Argenport earlier. If I'd gone into Argenport right away, I'd have had extra Auric Bullies, I could have had extra weapons, I could have gone a lot deeper into that side of things, and I think the deck would have been a lot better for it. So now we have 17 power that we have total, and I think that's good. We've got 3 time, which is not enough to ever get the Champion of Mystery online. But it is enough to have it as a 7/7 unblockable, so I think that I'm okay with that. I mean, that's just really powerful. I was already talking about how the time side of it probably doesn't matter. And we've got Xenon Stranger, but no other strangers make time. Yeah, there's literally no way for us to get the Champion of Mystery online. But that's okay. I'm still pretty happy with the card. Alright, this looks like the deck. Let's run it through.